Welcome back to the JodoCast. We're doing another tier list. This time we're looking at Special Forces units for Star Wars Legion. Joining me as per usual is Chris. I've let him out of the basement once more to help make another one of these lists.
I don't like Legion.
Don't be distracted by the light of day, Chris. You are only here to do one thing. So, let's just start so we can get you back where you belong.
Oh, okay.
ARC Troopers.
So is this the strike team or the full team?
What did you just eat your microphone?
Yes.
Yeah, we have two of the same image here. Let's do strike team first.
Cool.
I feel like they're both A to S.
I mean, the problem with the full ones is they're really expensive for what you get. But
Alright, F.
no, I'll put the strike teams probably A, maybe S. They're the most expensive strike team.
They seem really good though. They've got impervious and other things.
They lost critical, which sucked.
Oh, I like
really
that because critical sucks. I hate it. And by it sucks, I mean it's too good.
Yes, it was on their sniper rifle, so it didn't matter if you didn't surge. But wherever we put the strike team, I would argue that the full team should go one tier less than them, just because they're very expensive for what you get.
I mean, the full version of anything that comes in a strike team is typically one tier worse than the strike team version. Okay, well, let's just slap those guys there. I suspect these guys might be pushing ass, but
they are good, especially in GAR. Like their cheap activation that actually does something. That's hard to say for any GAR related thing.
Grr. Okay, how about the actually don't know which image represents which.
The first one's the strike team.
That's okay. These guys are okay-ish.
Yeah, they're not nearly as good as any other strike team because their AI means that you can't get the aim to actually activate their lethal.
Yeah, the couple times I've played with any version of them, getting them orders was always somehow an issue for me. It might have just been the way I had my list set up, but... And they only have one health each, which is normal for strike teams, but still somehow feels bad with them. I don't know. That's probably just me. They do have access to those shields, though, which is not bad.
Yeah, but that's 18 points for shields.
Alright, B or C?
Let's keep them B. I mean, they're still snipers.
So does that mean these guys are C?
Well, I would have to say that the BXs are going to be our only break of this rule because a full squad of BXs aren't bad, actually.
Yeah, they're good to go chop people with their swords with charge.
Yeah, if you need a cheap melee guy, like they have charge on their swords, and the swords are only 6 points.
Alright. These guys, the MagnaGuards, I might be willing to say just straight up ass. I've been playing them a lot, and they're really good. And I see somebody on the other team, I go, I think they should get hit by these electro buzzers. And then they do, and those guys typically die. They're great. Maybe A, but and maybe it's just I've been getting real lucky with how devastating these have been in my list lately. But running two of them, and I haven't even played them with the rocket launcher yet, and I'm pretty sure because when I set them on the table, people are like, "Oh, you're not using the rocket launcher?" I'm like, "No." So maybe I'm not even tapping their full potential.
Well, the rocket launcher is really cool because it's one of the very rare weapons that's on like a trooper unit that has impact that is not like either tapping or cumbersome. So it's really good. That being said, I also prefer the Electro Whip because it's very good against Force users. Turns out if you have like just two MagnaGuards with Electro Whips, you can just hit them twice and then suddenly you can't move.
The only time my MagnaGuards have not just destroyed a Force user is the time I played you and you were using Vader, and so I don't count that.
No, that was a bullshit game. We both agree on that.
I've played. I've had these guys just chew up operative Maul, Shadow Collective Maul, Operative Luke. These guys just grind Force users up. I really like them.
And, you know, they also have Guardian for
and
your main boys. And Retinue.
And they've got 2 training slots, so I usually throw on outmaneuver on them, the situational awareness, and what's the other one I usually put on there?
Offensive push is pretty good. Up close and personal is pretty good on them.
I don't use... Wasn't either of those. Something else. Something real good. It's a secret upgrade that I won't share
so
with
good,
anybody.
You don't even remember it. I love it.
AMG hates this one simple trick. Yeah, I feel fine putting those guys in S.
Sounds good.
And when your commander dies, you just promote them to the commander, and then they can retinue themselves.
There you go.
Death Troopers. I'm gonna go ahead and guess these guys might be hanging out down here.
I mean, they're pretty good still. Like, if you fully load them, like we're talking, I think 108 points. Let me just build this out really fast because their config's free. It's free now, which is great. 110 if you give them offensive push, the DLT, and E11. I would say B, yeah, because they're really good for what you get. It's just the list that typically want to run Death Troopers are gun lines or Tac Strike, and Tac Strike you just want Imperial Special Forces. I like Death Troopers a lot. I wish they had Impervious or something, because it does seem like they just kind of get crushed by all the Pierce in this game.
Do they have only 1 health each?
Yeah. I would say B's good.
Okay. These guys, probably somewhere around the same neighborhood. They seem a little bit, I guess, maybe just as situational, maybe slightly more useful. I definitely see them on the table more than I see Death Troopers, which is still not that much.
I mean, they're good with, like, Palpatine, because he can just give them an order.
Or Vader.
And they also are good for Guardian things you want to keep alive. My only problem with them is they only have 1 heavy, and it's not a very good heavy. Yeah, I'll do B or C. Your choice.
It feels weird to put them below Death Troopers, but they're okay. Like you said, they're Guardian. Whenever I go up against them, that's the thing that is the most troublesome, is Guardian.
Yeah, that's what they do. They're like a good pool of health for anything. And if you happen to get them into melee, that's great.
Okay, how about, what is this, Inferno Squad?
That is Inferno Squad.
What do you say here? I got nothing. I don't think I've ever actually played against Inferno Squad before. Played against Special Forces, but not Inferno Squad themselves.
Well, so they actually got a points drop because they're required to take Del Meeko and Gideon, right? And Del Meeko and Gideon got points drops. So now a Inferno Squad, it actually costs less than Imperial Special Forces with the heavy. The only problem is Del Meeko and Gideon don't work well together. All their weapons, they want to be like either close or front up. They want to coordinate, but they want to stay next to vehicles. They want to heal and stay back to help things, but they also want to like move up. Del Meeko wants to use his high velocity. It's a mash. But with Tac Strike, it's really good with the retinue of Iden Versio. And even without the Tac Strike turn, and if you just have her in your list, like they're basically an auto include anytime you have Iden Versio. So I would say A or B. They're a solid unit.
It sounds like B normally. A if you're running Iden, like what is their life if Iden's not in your list? Are you ever gonna even think about him?
Huh. Not really. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, I'm gonna put him at B then.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever seen anyone. Now I've seen 2, and it was because they literally didn't have the models for another full Inferno Squad.
So they're good, but if you're not running Iden, they're sort of irrelevant-ish.
Yeah, they're okay. They're a good jack of all trades if you need it.
Are there generic brothers and sisters just as good, worse, better because they don't rely on Aiden's existence as much. What's
I
their
mean,
deal?
they're basically Death Trooper lights with their reliable one and stuff. Um, I don't know. They're probably B.
All right, these Clan Ren, Mandalorian Resistance Clan Ren, I'm gonna say is at least an A.
Oh yeah, put Sabine in there, and you got some good stuff
Right,
going
they're
on.
still good without her, but like these guys, they're like, well, if you don't have Sabine, what are you doing? Because they've got retinue. Basically, any unit with retinue specific character is like kind of dependent on that character. But I mean, I've played games where they somehow get separated from Sabine or whatever, and they still do good. They're a good unit. Ursa and Tristan are great.
They're great.
All the Mandalorians with their speed 3 and jump are just so good for objective play. I'm happy leaving these as an A.
Yeah, I mean, makes
Maybe if
sense.
they weren't held back by Sabine, they'd be an S. But
I mean, I think their main holdback is just they're kind of aim hungry because Ursa has long shot, Tristan has lethal, so you want to get a lot of aims on them. But other than that, they're solid.
okay, Mandalorian Resistance. Um, Probably an A or a B. Like they're good. They're slightly less versatile as Clan Ren just because they don't have those unique. Well, I mean, I guess you could put either of them on there.
Yeah, you can put Tristan or Ursa on him, which is better than their other generic heavy, which is just the best guy duelist, which is like it's fine.
Yeah, they've got access to the rockets, which is good. Okay, yeah, they can be A. They're good,
Okay.
and they're just so hard to kill with the impervious red surge to defense. Um, their only drawback is being maximum range 2, or one of their drawbacks. That's probably the biggest one.
Yeah,
The MAUL'S, what is their proper name?
Mandalorian Super Commandos.
Okay. I feel like
Uh,
they're better and worse than these rebel Mandalorians, because they don't have 2 health. Well, I guess the rebel ones don't either.
no, only Clan Ren does.
Yeah, only the cool people. They
How many games have you gotten in with these guys?
against them like 1 or 2.
Okay, sweet.
I mean they were just kind of different-ish. They seemed good to me, but also a lot of people were just like, oh, they're not as good as the rebel ones.
Yeah, they trade the surge to hit
That's the
for
one.
having access to a range 3 weapon.
Yeah, which I don't know. It's a decent trade, but they're fast enough that maybe range 2 isn't as big of an issue as it is for other units.
Yeah, plus I would say that they have a much better selection of like heavies. Like you can have Rook if you have Maul on your list. You can really double down on the close range with the Gunslinger, even though he doesn't have the Gunslinger keyword, and
Oh
just
yeah,
get lethal. Or you can have the Marksman who doesn't have the Marksman keyword if you want to stay at long range or range 3.
I need to play with them more so we can make this into the Rook cast instead of the Jodo cast.
That, I mean, sure.
So what do you think, A or S? You're talking them up.
Well, the reason I'm talking them up is because they're the only special forces for the unit they're allowed to be taken in. You can only bring them in the Shadow Collective.
Yeah.
I would say A. Like, I believe that they have some, they're on the same level as Rebel Mandalorians. They have some ups compared to them and some downs.
Okay, how about the Rebel Commandos strike team? I mean, these guys have been around for a while. Even after they went from infinite range to range 5, they've still been just like.
Well, yeah, they're 50 points.
Yeah,
Well, 48.
They're cheap. They're long range. They've got, like the Empire snipers, they've actually just got Pierce built in, which is.
And high velocity.
I think Pierce high velocity is better than any of the droid or clone snipers.
They're cheaper.
I mean, they're really good.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have good saves, but The thing with snipers
Well,
is if they're
they
being
hide.
shot at,
Yeah.
something's going wrong anyways.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah, okay, I'll put them at A. That sounds good.
These guys, I want to just throw down in C or D real quick.
Really? Not a big fan of the commandos.
I mean, they're. Whenever I try and run full squads of them, whether it's with the bomb guy, with the sniper guy, or with no heavy weapon, they always just feel a bit too expensive, and whatever they're doing could have been accomplished by a cheaper core unit.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. Like, they're 48 points, so they're actually in line with Rebel core units, and they cost as much as a sniper squad.
Yeah, they've got duck and cover. Not duck and cover, low profile. That's kind of their big thing.
Yeah, but I could see your point. Like, at that point, just take a Rebel squad so you can have better access to heavies.
Right, and you free up your special forces slot for something better, like
snipers.
Or the Pathfinders. I think
You love Pathfinders.
they're good. You just sit them there, and then they shoot at people and save the day.
And eventually die.
They usually always die, but in my experience, they tend to live a lot longer than you might expect them to, and they just cause a real problem, especially if they're dug in somewhere. They really make it a problem for your opponent.
I mean, Danger Sense 3, like, that's a lot of extra dice you're
I
throwing.
love Danger Sense.
And my only problem with them is, it's just, they have 2 heavies, and both of them are uniques, which means you cannot run 3 Pathfinders with heavies. It's so weird. Like,
Well,
I think this game needs to get, like, another upgrade pack that just comes with extra heavies and stuff.
That
like,
can
you know
be
how... Yeah, it
put
can just be
in-
added on. Like,
yeah.
The snows need better heavies. Rebel Pathfinders need better heavies.
I mean, I think Pow and Bistan are both... They're both really good. I tend to lean towards Pow because I like making him the leader, and I like his...
Inspire?
Yes, that's the one. I think the Pathfinders are good.
Bistan.
Yeah, seems like most people do, but I like Pow.
I mean, you play the most Pathfinders, so if you think there would be, that makes sense to me.
Were you leaning towards C?
No, not really.
I think they're just they're a little more versatile than the commandos, and they...
Yes, I would agree that if I had to take either Pathfinders or commandos in my list, full commandos, I would choose Pathfinders. They're a little more expensive, but I feel like a naked group of Pathfinders, just put in the middle somewhere, will last a lot longer.
And
they're config's free.
Yeah, and they've got a range... I think it goes up to range 4 on the flip side. God, why can't I remember these things? I know that when you flip it to range 2, it's red, so you're throwing like 5 or 6 reds or whatever, and they can chew stuff up at close range.
It's the short range is reds at range 2, and it's 1 red each. The long range is 1 white each at range 4, and then their standard gun is 2 white each at range 3.
Yeah, they've got a lot of... Shoot guys at range 4, they get close, you flip over to red dice. They're good.
Yeah.
How about these guys? I don't see them as much as any of the other snipers. Scout trooper, sniper men. They've got the Pierce, high velocity.
Yeah, I would say A. Like, they have Scout 3 now, which is great. And the best part is, if anyone gets close to a Scout sniper, they just pull out their pistols and suddenly you're shooting 4 black, Pierce 1. I like them, but that's just because I'm an Imperial player, and a lot of my lists start with, like, gun lines. They're definitely not S, but I think they're good.
How about these guys?
I would argue B.
They do throw a lot of dice when they are shooting, because they're what, 2 white at
2
range
black.
2? 2 black at range. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, so the funny part is, and I've built this before, if you actually put the sniper rifle on them with offensive push and like the fragmentations of grenades or something to get the search to crit, that's like 85 points. If you can actually get in a range 1, you're throwing 8 black, 1 red, surge to crit, pierce 1. It's really gross. The problem is they have white saves, so they die really easily. But man, when they hit hard.
So of all of these, they're definitely the most glass cannon.
Oh yeah,
They've definitely got the highest damage potential compared to their how fast they get cut down.
Yeah, because Scout 3, low profile, like they can get up there. It's just you're probably not gonna have all your troops. The reason I like them at B though, because that's an edge case. But
Right.
just naked, 48 points, the same cost as a sniper squad. You get 4 guys with 2 black each. Like it's decent.
Yeah, they definitely seem better than the Rebel Commandos. So now we've got, I think both of these are the same stats for each faction, just obviously different factions.
Yeah,
We've got
which might
the
affect them.
shooty Wookiees and stabby Wookiees.
Fair enough.
Which is which? This looks like a shooty Republic. This looks like a stabby Republic. Isn't this the art from the original guys?
So the first 2 are Republic.
Right. Got that far.
Sorry, the first one's Republic. The second one is Rebel. The third one is Republic. The fourth one is Rebel.
Oh wait. So these are the 2 Republic ones.
That is correct.
Okay, this is stabby, this is shooty, this is stabby, this is shooty. I think the stabby guys are better than the shooty guys. I'm just going to go ahead and toss them here for now, and let's see if we need to adjust them.
I think we do, because Wookiees are very good right now.
They are.
I mean, even the stabby guys tend to take bowcasters, because it turns out ranged pierce is really good.
Right. But would you agree that stabby is better than shooty? What are their Christian names for the people at home who don't?
You got Wookiee Warriors, Kashyyyk Defenders, and then I think the other one's just called Wookiee Warriors.
Okay, the stabby guys are Wookiee Warriors, the original.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's Kashyyyk Defenders and Kashyyyk Resistance for the Rebels and Republic version of the shooties. So stabbies, I would say, are a lot better than the shooties.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're Wookiees. You want to get them in melee and hurt. But, that being said, if you put the suppressive gun on them, they do have Sharpshooter 1, and they do surge. Or even if you put the bowcaster, that's still a lot of dice at range 3.
Okay, so are we talking AB or SA?
I mean, this is your list. That's up to you.
You can't defer responsibility.
Yeah, I'm just here to help.
Now, would you say that both factions are even with each other? Because
On
the rebels, the rebels have. I feel like the rebels have more use for them, but the Republic has the commander and the command cards and Chewbacca commander, so they've got like more tools directly benefiting them, but they're they maybe needed less on Republic.
I mean, I get that. Like, I would probably put the Republic versions better than the Rebel versions just alone because it appears this latest wave made them better, but to how much better, I don't know. That's up to you.
Okay, well let's wait, I moved this guy from low B to high B. Let's try this.
Okay.
Republic Stabby S, Rebel Stabby A, Republic Shooty A, Rebel Shooty B. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
All right. That was all Chris's idea when you guys get mad at our rankings.
That's okay.
Get upset at our scientific method.
Scientific method of, we played this game. We either got beat by these or really like these.
These guys seem good, but are even more restricted than the other guys. This is a K2 situation because they're detachment.
Yeah.
But they're pretty good because
they're Maul only, but they're only 35 points.
Because, I mean, they just float around and go, hey, Maul, look at that guy. And then Maul's like, oh, shit, yeah, I'll kill that guy. And then that guy dies, right? That's how it goes.
Yeah, I also done some tricky stuff because the incognito really helps. So
Incognito's great.
Yeah, they have 3 models, and each one shoots 2 white with suppressive. So in a worst case scenario, if somebody's like going towards a box, you can actually fly up to them because they have hover air and just like shoot 6 white at them without them realizing you're going to do it, because no one really expects you to break incognito most of the time.
Yeah.
Also, they can just go grab an objective and they'll lose incognito, but yet again, no one expects you to actually do that.
There's stealth in that way where people are just, oh, they're just there, I guess. I got to put up with that. But you can get tricky with them when you do things other than just float around and observe things. I think they're A.
Yeah,
I think
I also like them.
It's fine to not take them if you're running Maul, but if you can fit them in, they make Maul even better.
Well, also it helps that they're a little bit cheaper than like a naked B1 squad, but can infiltrate with Maul as well. So if you're building a list with Maul in it, then he'll actually have some support over there.
Yeah, that's true too. So if you're sending a Maul behind enemy lines, he's not going to be alone and afraid. He'll have support.
He'll have his little balls.
Well, I think Maul's balls is a good way to end this list. How do you feel about this list?
Yeah, feels good to me.
Which item on this list do you think is going to get the most comments in the comments below? Which
any Wookiee placement, because I know there's a lot of them out there right now, and a lot of people are probably going to be like, they should be higher. They are pretty much in every list ever, because it turns out that we're living a melee skew at the moment.
Fair. Okay, yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I feel like maybe these guys are a little high. Maybe this guy's a little low. We'll see. But that's out of our hands now. We're locking it in, and we're passing it on to the people in Legion Land. Tell us, again, how we goofed it or how we did good. All of your comments have been great on all the previous videos. And if you haven't seen them, go check them out. That's it. Unless you have anything to say before we put you back in the basement.
Nah, I'm tired. I'm gonna go ahead and go back down there. It's
right.
nice and cold.
Yeah, we got your little sheet of cardboard. I get you a new one.
Nice. Thanks, buddy.
All right.